Morning, everyone. So glad you could join us to talk about housing and residence life. While we wait for others to join us as they're wrapping up and finding their way to us, I always like to ask who is joining us, where you're calling from. So I might pick a few of you just to share. Let's see. Madeline, where are you calling from this morning?
Rochester, Minnesota.
Rochester, not too far at all. Did you have any tornado weather yesterday?
It wasn't like tornado level, but it is storming right now. So
Oh, okay. Well, it's coming
yeah.
our way probably then. I know Winona got had a tornado spotted,
hmm
so good. All right. Well, welcome, Madeline. Let's see. Cassie, where are you this morning?
I'm from Monroe, Wisconsin.
Yeah, good. Well, welcome. What's Monroe's mascot?
We are the cheesemakers.
Monroe Cheesemakers. If that's not fierce, I don't know what is. Hard to compete with that. Good. Those of you joining just now, we're going to get started talking about housing and residence life shortly. We'll give others another minute or two to join us. Let's see. Luke, where are you this morning?
Sorry, I had to unmute it. I'm from Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Good.
From Oshkosh West High School.
Oshkosh West. Okay, good. Well, welcome. Just that 3-hour tour from Oshkosh to La Crosse, right?
Yep, did that last summer.
Have you counted how many like Cottonville or Cottonwood roads that are you see on Highway 21?
No, I never noticed that.
Now you will.
I'm pretty unaware when I'm driving, usually, actually, about what's going on around me. So,
That's not a good time to be unaware.
I mean, of street names. I don't even know street names in my own city. So,
Okay, as long as you know where you're going. All right, folks, well, it's 9:29. We'll give others just another minute to join us, and then we'll get started talking about housing and residence life as we kick off your sessions this morning. Let's see, maybe I can pick on one more person. Jolie, where are you this morning?
I'm from Madison, Wisconsin.
Good. Okay, good. Well, welcome, Jolie. All right, it is 9:30, so we're going to go ahead and get started, everyone. Others still may join us. We're going to talk about housing and residence life. If you look on the right-hand side of your screen in the bottom corner, there's a chat function. And our moderator this morning is Tony Hansen. And so he'll put a message out there, but you can directly message him if you've got questions while I'm presenting this morning. He may either just get back to you or he will save your question and pose it out to the large group at the end. Also, in the interest of full transparency, we are recording this session. So just know that we're recording it this morning so that for folks who couldn't be part of Virtual Start, they could still participate and be part of this presentation, okay? So again, if you've got questions, direct message Tony, and give me just a minute here while I share my screen. All right, well, welcome everyone. My name is Lisa Weston, one of the assistant directors of Residence Life. I use she, her pronouns. We're going to spend the next 15 minutes or so talking about housing, residence life, and what this fall might look like for you. So please know that I know the reason you're all here is because you just want to know, where in the heck am I going to be living, right? That is this next question in your head. Not after you figure out what classes you're going to be taking, you want to know where you're living. So please know that our intention is to get those housing assignments to you in July. We had to wait for a few more ducks to fall in a row, and now we're ready. And so really starting next week, but throughout the month of July, we'll be making those housing assignments. We have not made them yet. When you get your housing assignment, you will also learn about who your roommate is or roommates, as well as your mailing address and things like that. Know that we really want to get this information to you too. However, you don't have to wait for your housing assignment to start figuring out what to bring, what not to bring, what our residence halls look like. If you go on our website or on our Instagram page, you can see some tours. Excuse me. You can see how the residence halls rooms are set up when you arrive, what comes in the room. So you can start looking at that now, even before you have your housing assignment. Also, know that safety and cleanliness is always a high priority for us, and even more so this fall as we talk about COVID-19 and how to reduce risk to students. So we are working with the CDC, La Crosse County Health, the health center, to really establish a pattern of cleanliness that's going to work best for us, for you, to help reduce your risk to exposure to COVID-19 and probably other things. So again, this is always a priority for us and will continue to be. I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about you. Okay, so think about you and who you are, who you're coming to school as. Are you someone who's a high achieving social butterfly? Are you a good student who has a few but very solid friendships? Are you someone who prefers alone time? You're really just coming to get a degree. You don't need more friends in your life. Or are you a mix of these? If I were to poll you, my guess is the vast majority of you would say letter D. Or, as I heard last week, it really depends on the day, Lisa. And if you're like me, I can be a letter A if I've had enough coffee, or a C if I haven't, right? And so the reason why I asked this question is just to first acknowledge that y'all are different, and living in residence halls with hundreds of other students is going to feel different for all of you. And some of you are excited, others are anxious. We serve 3,400 students living on campus, and we really want this experience to be positive for all of you. And so that means it doesn't matter how you answer this question, that living on campus can be a very positive and exciting opportunity for each of you. In order to talk about how residence life might show up in your story, I want to introduce you to two other students who live on campus. So first, this is Pedro. Pedro is a high-achieving senior, very involved in extracurricular activities in high school. He's excited to be here. Pedro is one of these people, and you know these people, right? Who, like, everyone in the world is just a friend they haven't met yet. You know these people? That's Pedro. He's excited to be here. And then there's someone like Claire. Claire has a hard time making new friends. She's academically very ready to be here, but she's super anxious about the social life. Who are her friends going to be? Who's she going to eat lunch with, right? And Claire's mom's a little anxious too. Some of you may see yourself in Pedro or Claire. Some of you may be like, I'm Pedro, but my mom is totally this anxious mom, right? And that's okay too. The reason I introduced you to these two people is because you may feel like you are one of these two people. So their stories and yours is really going to merge at move-in. So you're doing Start Today, you're registering for classes, you're getting a little bit of visual of what the fall might be like. The next thing is move-in. And so this is what you might be focused on shortly after today, if not already. So although it's going to feel different depending on who you are and how you feel about being here, logistically, it's going to be very similar for all of you. So let's talk about those logistics. So move-in week is going to happen September 1st through the 5th. That's Tuesday through Saturday before classes begin. The exact day and time is going to depend on what hall you're assigned to. We are not going to dictate the exact time you move in. Instead, we give you some options. So for example, let's say you live in Drake Hall. Maybe we tell you, Drake Hall, you can choose between Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, or Saturday afternoon, whichever works best for you. And you'll pick one of those options to move in. What you're selecting is going to be a 4-hour block of time where you can get into the parking lot that's most adjacent to your residence hall. And then you and whoever you've brought with you will schlep all your stuff up to your room. Because of COVID-19, we want to limit the number of people who are helping, and we're just not able to provide the same amount of moving assistance that we may have in the past. So that means whatever you pack to bring with you, you and whoever you brought with you is schlepping that up, okay? Know that if you absolutely need assistance, we will be able to provide some, and you'll sign up for that at the same time. But we want to focus on those who need it. So everyone else should anticipate that you will be moving your own items in, okay? So that means please pack light, okay? Sometimes every move-in day never fails. I see like giant U-Haul trucks moving into campus, and I literally think there is more square footage in that U-Haul truck than there is in a dorm room. So be cautious about what you're bringing. Really focus on what you might need for those first few weeks. I really hope you don't need winter gear in September, right? So maybe all the winter gear doesn't come with you. Think about what you need to get acclimated. You can always bring more stuff later, right? So pack light so you can move in an efficient way. Again, you'll get about 4 hours to be moved in, okay? There's this option that's available to everyone regardless of where you'll be living on campus. And so you can mark your calendar now if this works best for you. The weekend of the 28th, 29th, and 30th, we do what we call early belonging drop-off. And so This is an opportunity for you. Maybe your roommate wants to do this at the same time. This is no additional charge. You can come to campus, move in at a slower pace. We aren't restricting time. There'll be fewer people on campus. You can really move all your stuff into your room, get it all set up, and then go home for a few days and come back the following Friday or Saturday when new student orientation starts for you. So you'll be coming in on Friday. People are still moving in. They're all sweaty, still setting up their room. And you just get to saunter in and be like, my stuff is here. It feels like home already. Maybe you brought the last 2 things you know you're going to need, right? This is a great opportunity for folks, especially if you live within an hour or so of La Crosse or you don't mind making that trip more than once. Okay, so just think about it. You can mark your calendars now if this is going to work for you. So those are the logistics of moving. Let's go back to what it's going to feel like. Remember Claire and Pedro? Well, what does it feel like for them? It's going to feel different for everyone. Someone like Claire is going to be fairly withdrawn, only do mandatory things. She might stick with just her roommate or just her RA. She is not in a place where she's willing to put herself out there yet. It's just too far outside of her comfort zone. And folks, half of our students living on campus will do this. So if this is you, you're not alone, okay? Now we want to challenge you to step outside your comfort zone a little bit, to meet new people, to feel connected, but we understand that that's not an easy ask for many of you. And then there's someone like Pedro, who is going to say yes to everything, right? He's going to be saying yes to invites for bluff hikes, for going to lunch, for playing racquetball, for playing frisbee on the quad, right? Pedro's going to say yes to everything. In fact, someone may actually have to remind Pedro he also needs to go to class, right? And here's the thing. These 2 people are both experiencing anxiety about their social life. Claire may look at Pedro and say, he's clearly got it all together, right? Look at how out there he is. And Pedro inside is going to be saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just saying yes to everything because I don't know how else to meet people. I still haven't found my friends. I'm not feeling connected, right? Just how they show up is different, but neither one of them is feeling really secure in their social life at the moment. That's just how it goes for everyone, okay? So please know that it will be true of you likely at some point in the first 6 weeks. So that's where Residence Life comes in. How can we help? So for Pedro, just living in a community with others who are experiencing the same thing provides this sense of solidarity for him, right? He uses this to meet new people, make connections. He's excited, like maybe he'll apply for a campus job, he'll work at the front desk, meet new people, earn some cash. He's going to go to everything he can to meet new people, right? Please hear me well, folks. Even in this time of this COVID pandemic, there absolutely will be ways for you to meet people. We know that feeling connected and belonging to the institution, meeting new people is one of the biggest determinators, is that a word? Biggest determinations about whether or not you succeed academically. It feels like they're not connected, but they are. And so those opportunities to meet new people might be virtual. They might also be in small groups this fall. It is unlikely that we will have like 2,000 people in the stadium, right? That probably is not going to happen this fall. But those small groups are much more effective at meeting people anyway. And so know that we will provide opportunities for you to do so, okay? For someone like Claire, who's just going to like kind of shirk into herself and not put herself out there, she may get into like week 4 or 5 and start thinking, I am not connected to a soul. I don't have any friends here. I'm not really sure I belong. I'm not really sure I should stay. I'm just not feeling good about being here. But she's smart. And so before she makes any decisions, she's going to talk to her RA, who she has connected with already, about what she's feeling, what she's thinking. And that RA is going to jump at the opportunity to help her. That's really what they're trained to do. That's what we hire them for, is to help you connect to people who might share interest in your academic major, share values, share passion projects. They're going to help you with that. Our RAs are fantastic resources. So they can help with that. They can also help with things like, what are some tips and tricks in the dining center so I don't get sick of the food? How do I make an appointment at counseling and testing? How do I find out about the multicultural student orgs that I could join, right? Our staff's ready to answer all those questions. A lot of people know what an RA is. Not everyone knows what a hall director is. And so allow me to share that with you. Every single one of our residence halls has a full-time master level professional who lives and works in your residence hall. They're not a student. They have an apartment in your building, their office is there, and they have master's degrees in student affairs. They've studied you. And by you, I mean college students, right? They know what it takes to help a student be successful while at a university. And so they're going to be fantastic mentors for you. Know that most of the time, the first time someone meets their hall director is when they've gotten in trouble. And that happens a lot, right? But that is not going to be your typical trip to a principal's office. This is an opportunity for your hall director to get to know you. They're going to ask you questions, sure, about why you made the choices you did, how you ended up getting in trouble, but they're also going to ask questions about, like, how are things going with your roommate? How are your classes going? Are you adjusting to that online version of that class? Can I get you connected with tutors, right? They are going to be a great asset for you. And they're going to want to talk to you also about how to not get in trouble again so that you're in their office, but you don't need to get in trouble to meet them. They're fantastic mentors with connections to lots of people on campus. Get to know them sooner than later, as they will help you greatly in those first few weeks. So that's a little bit about how Pedro and Claire are different, but how are they the same? How's their story that's the same? Did you see the common thing between them? Residence life. Residence life is part of their story and how they found their sense of belonging. They have different stories, but similar needs. We know that the first 6 weeks is the most critical in terms of determining whether or not you will succeed here and make it to commencement. During those first 6 weeks, we're going to throw a lot of resources and opportunities at you. You just have to say yes to a few of them, and it will help you be more successful in and out of the classroom. Okay, those are habit-forming 6 weeks. Give us that time to help do this well with you. Please also know that our communities must be inclusive. In order for them to be positive and home for everyone, it's got to be a place where all students can thrive. Pedro, Claire, and every single one of you. We embrace diversity, inclusion, social justice. These are tenets of our program for living in a community, living in our residence halls. As a community where a student is experiencing hate, racism, stereotyping, or even something that feels innocent, like inappropriate jokes, is not innocent. And it's something that we will absolutely address. So please know that this is an expectation of living on campus so that every person knows that they belong here. We also have policies that exist that fall in line with state law, as well as general safety practices. And so if you look on our website, you can see our policies and what those are, including what to bring, what not to bring to follow those things. Folks, I need you to hear me so you're not surprised in the long run. Students who are found responsible for being involved in a policy violation that involves drugs or alcohol, it is likely that we will contact your parents or guardians to let you know that this has happened. This is really an effort to push you back to your parents and guardians to have a conversation about expectations and values so that you can ensure that y'all are on the same page moving forward, and it can help inform you in your future decisions as well. All right? So as we wrap up, here's some quiz questions for you. What should you remember about these stories? Everyone's a little nervous to be on campus. There are many opportunities to connect. RAs can be great resources. Students who say yes during those first few weeks will be exposed to new opportunities, or all of the above. Of course, the correct answer is E, all of the above. When should you plan to move in? During early belonging drop-off. Depends which hall you've been assigned to. Depends on if you need to be here during business hours to go to financial aid or things like that. Depends on my personal schedule, my family schedule, or I don't know yet, but it'll be between these dates. The correct answer could be any one of these. Again, we're going to provide you with some options. You get to decide what works best for you and your family, okay? And that information will come out shortly after your housing assignment. Okay, excuse me. So again, this will come out in July, shortly after your housing assignment does. Last question. Claire's mom was aware Claire was having a hard time. What could she have done? Tell her to get over it. Picked her up every weekend. She'd come home. Email Chancellor Gow to say things aren't going well. Encourage Claire to meet new people by attending events. Call the hall director to brainstorm how to support Claire. The correct answer is going to be either D or E. It really depends on who you are, how involved your family is in your experience here. We always welcome conversations between our hall staff and parents, guardians, families. We always welcome that. In an ideal world, we also want the student to be part of that conversation. our goal is really just to provide an umbrella of support. And so we are happy to have conversations like that. So my question is, what's your story? Part of our mission statement is we're student-centered, we care, we have fun. We want you to feel that while you're living on campus. There's a whole bunch of stuff I have not talked about. I would redirect you to our website. You're going to see a whole bunch of important information there. You can see the Residence Life 101 video series, COVID-19 FAQ. These are things that we will continue to update throughout the summer, so please use this as a resource. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we have about 2 minutes. Tony, if there's any questions that got sent your way that we should address as a group, you're welcome to throw those out there now.
Yeah, I have a few questions here about bed lofts. Do they come with the rooms? Do I have to reserve one? And how can I configure those lofts in my room?
Yeah, here's the good news. No additional charge. Every room comes with the bed loft pieces. You're going to need to set your bed up in any configuration. In most double rooms, when you arrive, your bed's going to be at what I describe as like a standard bed height. You can move it up a little bit, up all the way to the loft, right? They're independent of each other. You can decide how to set them up. You can also bunk the beds if you prefer that. We provide all the pieces you need. You don't even need tools to do so, okay? You just have to move the items. And if you look on our website, you can see how those set up. It's fairly easy. You and your roommate can do it on move-in day. No problem. Tony, any last questions you want to make sure we get to?
Yeah, I have one quick question here about when will I learn who my roommate is going to be? That'll come out at the same exact time that you receive your room assignment in July. Students will get 2 emails. One will have your mailing address and the specifics about your room assignment, and the other message will come at that same exact time and have the names and contact info for your roommates.
And right after that, we'll be all this information about move-in, and you can select the time that works best for you. Okay? As we wrap up here, folks, I just want to redirect you to a few resources. Again, our website's a good place to start. We will be part of the resource fair this afternoon. Feel free to hop in, ask a question, hop out. Tony and I will stick around for a little bit longer if you want to just send us a direct message. We're happy to answer you that way. You can always message us at housing@uwlax.edu, and we'll get back to you as soon as we're able. Folks, we're so excited to have you on campus with us in the fall. We really look forward to it. So enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun registering for classes, and we will see you in just a few short months. Enjoy your day.